Hello, today let's talk about Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro, true wireless in-ear monitors made by company Anker or Anker. They are famous, of course, like not super famous brand, but of course almost everyone knows about the chargers, cables and many other products. And recently they developed a really good name and get a lot of recognition as a creator of really good true wireless earphones. So no surprisingly that I started getting requests to review this model since its introduction. I actually don't remember, it was somewhere at the end of last year or early this year or something like that, don't remember exactly. But unfortunately I didn't have a chance to review them then, but a bit later is better than never, especially taking into account that sometimes this model sold with a really good discount. Their base price is $170, and even for $170 actually they deliver a pretty good value. But if you start looking for sales, you can get them with a good deals. Recently they were somewhere at about $100, so but anyway, let's have a closer look and let's talk about their value at the end of this video. So package is really good, comparing with much more expensive Sony, for example. You can easily see that Anker invested into creation of a package much more. They highlighted their main features, so actually on the side they even pictured their ACAA 2.0 technology. Actually, in the regular wired earphones it's not a know-how, it's just a basic way of doing things, because it's a hybrid true wireless model with 10mm dynamic driver and Knowles balanced armature, and they are oriented coaxial. Like in almost all inexpensive true wired models we're getting this schema, but in the true wireless world even hybrid schemas are not often met. And they offers active noise cancelling, they have support for LDAC, tuned by Grammy-winning producers. I don't know, it's 20 Grammys they won or 20 producers. And they don't support aptX actually, but support LDAC, SBC and AAC, so they decided not to pay to Qualcomm. They outlined a lot of features on the back side. They have companion app, some good noise cancelling, up to 8 hours playtime, and actually it's true, but up to 8 hours or 7.5 it's without active noise cancelling and without LDAC. With active noise cancelling it's somewhere about 6 hours, and with LDAC it's about 4 hours or so. But anyway, as you can see, package actually is really good, and unboxing experience is also great. You open it this way and actually everything is at their place. Here you've got manual, charging cable, here are 4 pair of tips and 3 pair of additional rubbers to improve seal. But of course there were earpieces themselves, but now they are stored in case. And the most interesting thing, of course, is this case with earpieces inside. So let me remove the box from the table and we'll talk about the design. Positive impressions continues with design. As you can see, case is pretty slim. It actually supports wireless charging and can recharge them up to 3 times additionally. It's really pleasant in hand. There are LED indicators to show it, and of course USB Type-C for regular charging, and it feels really pleasant. Another great feature that I really like, of course it's not big deal, but I like that its case is slidable. So you just click it and lid slides up and down, so it's really well done experience. And I don't know how long it will last if you use it as some kind of fidget, but it's really relaxing, this click. There are 2 big LED indicators that actually highlight them a little bit, so even in darkness you can easily find them. And they have a really good magnet, so you take them out. If you need to put them back, you basically just throw them without any precision. They snap back and you close it. So really good experience in terms of case too. Earpieces themselves have an interesting sophisticated shape. This part is done of rubber, and basically you have to twist them into your ears. So you insert them vertically and then twist them a bit back, so they finding a proper fit in your ear. Really good combination of materials and really good wearing comfort, at least for me. You know, they actually even used some unusual tips here because they are holding super well. They require some strong force to be removed. Actually, lip for holding the tips is pretty small, and there is a grid to protect the internals, but lip is small, but tips are holding really well. So they did some groove inside of tips, and they easily click in place and they hold. So you know, their attention to details really surprised me in a positive way. There are LED indicators, pressure relief, and a lot of different microphones located at different places. Faceplates are also pretty stylish. You can see it has some kind of jewel look with glass cover, looks pretty fancy. It has touch controls, it responds to touch as well. And also another small nuance that I like about their design, they have really pleasant notification tones. That another great feature. Passive sound isolation is actually pretty okay because of nice deep fit and proper tip selection. Actually, tips are soft also, need to mention that, softer than regular, and but not super soft. And they have good passive sound isolation, but active noise cancellation add a bit more of comfort. Of course, active noise cancelling is slightly lower than, for example, Sony offers or Bose, and the main issue here is high frequency noises, but it deals really well with low frequency noise like some engine working near you, air conditioner, public transport, and so on. So you won't get like absolute vacuum like with Bose. With Bose it's also not absolute but really good, but still you're getting a pretty decently working active noise cancelling. They hold connection really well, at least in my test scenarios, except of typical case when you enter some area with lot of Wi-Fi networks and their interference can cause some short hiccups. But besides that scenario, it offers a really good connection quality. And background noise is pretty low. It's slightly higher with active noise cancelling on, but this sound is not irritating or annoying, at least for me. So in terms of design and exterior stuff, everything is pretty well. I've read in some on some famous site review, and they said that it looks boring, but I can't agree here. In my opinion, they definitely have their own style and looks pretty nice. Here is a companion app. It's called basically Soundcore, and you know, first acquaintance with this app was a bit annoying because it was forcing me to register, but actually tapping the cross button in the upper left corner dismissed that dialog, and after that actually it's one of the most straightforward and convenient applications of this kind. They didn't implement detecting the color of earpieces, so they shows just basic black ones. Here you can see the charge remaining in both ears and in case, actually pretty nice thing. Also you can select noise cancellation, you can make a test, of course if your device has microphone, to detect outer noise, normal mode and transparent mode, so you can make them fully transparent, or vocal mode, meaning it's for voice. Or you can activate spatial wind noise reduction here, so as you can see, pretty nice granular tuning. You can test active noise cancelling to optimize it, and you can test your ears. It's a typical test when it will offer different tonal signals, and you should select do you hear it or not. So these earphones will test your ears and then apply some equalization based on your ears. And here you can select different sound profiles based on here ID sound. For the 3D surround sound, kind of stage improvement, can be used with LDAC, but not really useful. And professional tuned by Krish Sharma, probably it's that Emmy nominating producer. And in the equalizer they offer you to log in to store your equalization settings in the cloud. As you can see, actually a lot of bands, so pretty nice equalizer, so nice to use feature. Also sound mode, LDAC or regular SBC AAC. And here same situation as it was with Technics earphones, it activates with restarting of earpieces. Not sure why, but probably it was necessary for some reasons. Here you can, sorry, no, there's more settings. Here you can customize controls, what going happen on single tap, double tap, hold and triple tap. There is plenty of options, so you can select what suits you most. Pretty straightforward and flexible type of tuning. In the more settings you can disable this automatic pause, device list where they were connected, prompt tones, that beep sounds you can enable, disable. Also they have a feed test, so put them into ears, they will play music and use the external microphones to analyze amount of leaking. Automatic power off and firmware update. Also here you can do some shopping, read some news about Soundcore. Also, by the way, they gave a useful tip here. And here additionally you can get some exclusive offer. For example, if you want to get Soundcore Air, pretty good also earphones in terms of price quality, and tweak some settings of the application itself. So basically, as you can see, nice, straightforward and convenient companion app. Here is a traditional microphone test, recording this part of the video with earpieces in my ears, so microphones located where they will be in the real life. I won't apply any gain correction or equalization to this video, so it will give you an impression of their microphones. And of course about the sound, Anker did in Soundcore actually what I expect them to do. They created fun V-shaped signature with a pleasant, pretty deep bass delivered by the dynamic drivers and slightly accented upper mids and lower treble area to compensate low frequencies and to create fun V-shaped signature. So it's not an audiophile earphones, and they not created to be monitoring or something like that. They deliver to create fun, engaging sound signature, actually hiding the issues of lossy Bluetooth compression with more fun and energetic sound, and they succeed here pretty well. So bass is accented, not too much, but it's pleasant, tight, impactful, and so on. So keep in mind that all sound description I will do for the LDAC codec, and of course I won't mention all the time, or at least I will try not to mention, that it's all for the true wireless model. Of course, compared with wired earphones, they are still noticeably behind them or below them, but we're speaking about true wireless only, not comparing them for wired. So depth is close to maximum allowed by the codecs, and deeper layers of bass are also present. Bass is impactful, it's not super weighty, but at the same time punch is good, so they decided to create it fast, agile and dry. But when it's necessary to deliver some rumble, it's also present. Bass stays on its place pretty well, a bit shadowing mids on the bass heavy tracks, but not too much, so nothing criminal. And also it's pretty okay with acoustic instruments. Not only acoustic, but real instruments that saturated with overtones. And as a first example, I will use Pink Floyd Money. Of course, all tracks by Pink Floyd required more expensive wired earphones to sound at full potential, but still this track sounds engaging with pleasant bass line present here, and this earpieces delivers it really well. Mid-frequency slightly lower part of mid-frequency is slightly recessed comparing with bass, but thanks to the armature driver remains pretty audible and with normal resolution. It's not focused on the micro contrast, of course, but thanks to the bump in the upper mids, it sounds engaging, forward and energetic. It highlights emotions a little bit, especially it's noticeable with female vocals. Male vocals sometimes lacking a bit of weight, but it's not an often case. Imaginary stage is slightly above average both in width and in depth, and actually for the true wireless model this earpieces builds a pretty pleasant stage with nice sense of 3D. Sometimes it sounds a bit like artificial, but it's still kind of better than nothing. And another example, another Pink Floyd hit, it's Wish You Were Here, and signature guitar vocal delivers pretty pleasant. Not great, of course, but pleasant. And treble, it's energetic, accented, so if you're sensitive to the treble, you need to listen them before buying, or you can actually use equalizer to reduce treble by a noticeable amount, so you can create pretty pleasant signature for you if you want comfortable treble. By default, it's energetic, slightly lacking extension, and of course we're not mentioning things like layering, but still pretty good amount of overtones and saturation, and slightly faster attacks and decays, unlike the many other models of true wireless earphones with just a single dynamic driver. High frequencies here is more on the airy side of things. It's more lightweight and more immersive. And another example, it's Pink Floyd, High Hopes. Well, why I selected all three tracks by Pink Floyd? Because I can. So, one of my most favorite tracks, and actually it's a pretty good test for the bass because they have deep low hitting drum, but of course this track is here because of that constant bell noise and signature keyboard part in the introduction that sounds nice and almost close to be called realistic. Speaking about the Bluetooth codecs, actually, to be honest, I don't see much sense in enabling LDAC if you don't listen them at home. On the street, on the go, you won't hear the difference, so you can safely turn off LDAC, and on the street it will be SBC or AAC will be more than enough, so they preserve that signature. Of course, with LDAC you'll get slightly bigger stage, especially in depth, and you'll get better treble extension, but difference is not huge anyway. Speaking about the comparisons, let's do it simple. Models like Sony and Sennheiser and DVLA, and they are slightly better in terms of sound signature and in terms of active noise cancelling. Actually, DVLA is somewhere close to this model in terms of active noise cancelling, more or less. But Sony Sennheiser is better, and of course Bose is out of this competition. They are the best that I have tested. But in terms of price to quality ratio, this model is probably overperforms more expensive models, because even for $170 it delivers a really good sound and tons of features. And if you'll be able to grab them with some discount, then it's even better. I've read that actually Soundcore Air 2 Pro is also good, and it costs even less, about $70, but I haven't tested them. If this video will be popular, I'll try to get them, but there are a lot of reviews of these models besides me. And Technics, actually they are more or less on same level. Technics is slightly more natural on the mids, while this model is slightly more airy on the treble area. So in general, Technics is slightly better in terms of sound, offering basically almost the same amount of features, but they are a bit more expensive too. So to cut this short, great price to quality ratio. Not like the best model of TWS ever created, but offering great value. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a nice day.